Toastmasters, welcome to the April edition of the Pathways training sessions organized by the Program Quality Directors team. I am Kasun Ilangaratna and I will be your host for this evening. Let me first take a few minutes to walk you through some of the resources and guides from the previous sessions that we had during this Toastmasters year. So some of the supporting materials that we have always promoted: the Pathways Competencies by Path and the Paths and Core Competencies documents. We also have the Pathways FAQ documents involving Pathways and evaluation in Pathways sessions that we have conducted. Several other sessions that were conducted during the year as well. They are all available for you to watch on YouTube. And I will be sharing these links in the chat window as well shortly. And you can always find them if you take a visit to the District 82 YouTube page as well. Just like our other sessions, even today, we are going to be having 2 educational sessions to help you to grow your knowledge of how to be a better speaker, how to be a better leader, and how to be a better Toastmaster. Remember that you can always post any questions that you have during these sessions using the Q&A feature, and we will answer these questions during our Q&A session later on. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters is where leaders are made. And one way in which Toastmasters helps to make you a better leader is by offering you the chance to serve in your club as an officer. There are 7 club executive exco roles, and 2 of these are the Vice President of Public Relations and the Vice President of Membership. So what are the benefits that we are going to gain by taking up executive committee roles such as these? To tell you about the benefits of these roles, we have someone who has been a Toastmaster from 2012. He has held many leadership positions in Toastmasters, and he is currently the Assistant Public Relations Manager for District 82. He works as a technical lead at the London Stock Exchange Group, Sri Lanka, and he is currently reading for his MBA from the University of Wales. Please join me in welcoming distinguished Toastmaster Inshaf Muhammad to enlighten us on uncovering your leadership potential. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kasun, for that wonderful introduction of myself. After Hashini's extensive level of pathways details, I'm sure our 125 odd members are well equipped with the knowledge on how to enroll in pathways and how to get on with it. Now, to start off the session, communication and the leadership both are not just courses that you can follow and put a dot and put an end to it. It's always been a practice. I'm not the person who I joined back in 2012, who had not even able to speak 20 seconds on a meeting. But joining Toastmasters back in the day following the curriculum and then getting into Expo helped me to uncover the talents that I had that I didn't even know of. My dear friends, today I'm going to speak a few words of how you would be able to learn more from being the Vice President, Public Relation, and Vice President, VP membership. So when you've been asked to join the Exco, what would your first answer? I think this is going to be a huge responsibility and you need a lot of time to commit. so on and so forth. My dear friends, the basic norm of anything that you do, it could be your work, your hobby, whatever it is in your life, is to like what you do, love what you do. Same applies here. You've identified, including myself, that we are a little behind in communication and leadership skills. Then now you have enrolled in Toastmasters movement. So typically, like Hashini told you just a while ago, you will be given many paths to learn about your communication field. What about leadership? In Toastmasters, leadership is engaging. You start it from your club level. Now, two roles that I'm going to speak to you today is Vice President Public Relations and Vice President Membership. See, these two roles are going hand to hand. Technically, if we see, these are no different than a single role. How may I say? A VP membership's role is to proactively assess the growth of the club, ensuring the members' engagement whilst plan the club growth in inspiring potential guests to become members. When you've been a new vice president membership, isn't that what you learn? You need to go beyond from your comfort zone and speak to the newly joined members and make sure they are welcome to our club, welcome to the club. It's not just the sergeant at arms responsibility as the individual who's responsible for the membership of the club. It is your responsibility to make sure you welcome each and every single member to the club wholeheartedly. And what do? Then you make sure those members are getting enough materials, enough information about Toastmasters and make them feel that they made the right choice to join Toastmasters. Also, one of your responsibilities is to build a friendly atmosphere within the club and its members. So it's not just you welcome your members and stay. You have to make sure that give a proper introduction to the new members, and you make sure our senior members, or rather the members who are already in the club, are well informed about the members that have joined the club. So they seem not left out. So they seem not be in an idle place without no one to speak just for the VP membership. So it's not like that. And then ensure the new members are being well settled within their need of improvement and provide any necessary information upon their membership confirmation. Now, the next thing that you have to do is you have welcomed the guest and you made sure that they are friendly to the club. Everyone knows about their new members, and you also have to focus on why they are in the club, why they have choose Toastmasters. Not everyone will have the same problem when I say problem, it could be speaking in front of people, it could be presentation, it could be dialogues. So you have to understand what your members need. And then you make sure you pass the details your Vice President Education. So the Vice President Education will do their job. So basically, the Vice President membership is the head of HR of the club. You have to manage your club members. It's not just your job starters whenever that the membership renewals are around the corner. No, it's not like that. You have to make sure to keep a close look on the attendance of your members and the growth of your members. Why? When you know a member is not attending the meetings, or rather not taking any roles or responsibilities, you have to make sure that is it something wrong with what club does or the way we deliver the segments. So likewise, you need to make sure that all the club members are being acquainted properly, and they are enrolled in the path, and they are making a progress. If you do not see a progress, it's your responsibility to make sure to speak to them personally and understand what is going on there. That is how a VP membership holds importance of, or rather in the club, to make sure that the club is always engaged and the club is always filled with the active members. So that is the introduction for the VP membership. So what about VP public relations? So VP public relations is to promote the club activities to create a public awareness about Toastmasters movement and its communication and leadership building activities by following Toastmasters brand guidelines. It is very important for us to keep a professionalism in what we deliver, which makes our delivery, our picture, our brand of Toastmasters fly high in the outside of community. So that is why we have an area called Toastmasters brand guidelines. So those who are VP membership in our today's badge, you would know what I'm talking about. We have certain guidelines, regulations that we need to follow to make sure that we deliver a professional product, professional public release, a professional material to the public, Toastmasters, be it non-Toastmasters, to give an awareness. This is what's happening in our club. It is the first attraction point, my dear friends. Someone sees a flyer of your club and sees someone is delivering a speech, or someone sees a small video clip of a member of your club delivering how he or she started the Toastmasters journey and what's her development today. This is the first level of attraction that you get from non-Toastmasters. See, public relations is inspire, or they attract non-Toastmasters to be the guests, and the VP memberships ultimately get prospect members who he or she can convert them to a member within their membership cycles. It's not just about we invite guests and we'll give them the club orientation and how we work. It's important for us to make sure that they understand the value of being a member and the knowledge that Hashini elaborated a little while ago that they can gain periodically when they are active and they create progress in the club. And VP Public Relations is the immediate go-to personnel, providing the informative information for the queries and inspire inquirers to attend as guests. See, these two roles are very important because one division attracts guests by doing their job perfectly, and the other division makes sure that they get the guest through a journey where it shows how important for them to become the members of Toastmasters. So if I compare these two, VP membership and VP public relations, your responsibility is to make sure that your meetings are full of members. That is VP membership. And when that happens, our VP public relations responsibility becomes to get to the public in numerous ways. Now, you've seen the evolution of Toastmasters from its beginning to now. Likewise, today you have a number of platforms. Being very normal is Facebook and Instagram. You can reach out to a lot of people. I think using today's technology, a lot of people are using these two platforms. So a public relation, Vice President Public Relations one of the main tools will be these two, where they can attract new members and tell them this is what's happening in our club. And then for VP membership, the relationship with Toastmasters International is a key factor. Why? You would need to assess how your members are doing, not just quarterly or bi-yearly, probably every 1 month, to see they are progressing in their journey or not. And you also have to keep looking on how they are achieving their educational sessions in educational goals in Toastmasters International dashboard, which will indicate you this member is a very good or active member, rather who have potential in getting into numerous avenues of Toastmasters. Toastmasters is not just coming to a meeting and leaving after two hours. There are segments, there are roles that they can play beyond the club. There's area beyond the club, division, beyond the division, we have district. So it is the current excos, one of the goals, to focus who would be the incoming leaders of the club, area, division, and the district, of course. And for the public relations, the connection with the promotional sources is a key factor. So the PR has to be always active. He or she has to be always engaged in delivering key moments of the club. It's not just the club. As a club, you can arrange educational sessions like this to gain the attraction of members, of course, plus the non-members who would want to learn what they have not so far. And then VP membership is the complete fraternity. I meant it's not just VP membership, always have to focus on the club. He or she can build a networking with the other clubs in the area and organize membership driving activities within the area, which will ultimately help the division, which will ultimately help the district. So as public relations is the external territory, they always have to make sure that what you do within the club, within the area, within the division is being published in their external sources that they have. Now, while we are discussing these responsibilities, as a VP membership and as a VPPR, without you learning few things, planning. Planning is one of the main characteristics that a leader should possess. Planning your year ahead. How would you roll out your promotional activities? What will be the key sessions that you would have for the club members? And as membership will sit down with the PR and make sure they have a common goal to achieve by this time of the year. We will have to retain this number of members. We will have to get this number of members by giving quality. I'm saying quality educational sessions, because Toastmasters is not just we come and do a session. It's the quality is very important. That is why we have guidelines, regulations everywhere, how we need to do things and how we need to do things. Should bring up, lift the quality of our delivery. Next thing that you would learn, motivating who work along with their teammates, with their team, by motivating them. As a vice president membership, if you've been noticing your members who, let's say for example, someone is not active in the club, you will be taking an extra step to go beyond just the role and be a motivator to that member. You will be having a conversation with them on how he or she as a VP membership wants to involve in their improvement of the educational session. So planning and motivating. And the next one, the evaluation. This is not the speech evaluation. Just Toastmasters doesn't teach speech evaluation. You evaluate the progress. By looking at the educational goals, you also be the person who will be targeting. By end of this year, we'll be going for President Distinguished, select Distinguished or Distinguished Club. And targeting those goals, you will be motivating members to attend their educational goals. When it comes to membership cycles, our VPPRs will be planning how they're going to attract members. And they are planning how their flyers, their communications, their materials going to motivate non-members to join Toastmasters. And then by keeping those results, both memberships and the public relations will evaluate the gain that you have gotten on a certain number of months of work that they have did. So my dear friend, we learned 3 potential qualities that you would develop even without you knowing it: planning, motivating, evaluating. So if you do this for quite some time, when you are well gelled with your role, you will eventually develop 3 more important characters within you, whom they are: trainer. I'm sure Hashini has completed second pathway, and now she is know in and out about the pathways learning experience. So she's a trainer today. So is when you well know about your vice president membership role or vice president public relations role, you will make sure you pass on the knowledge that you have gained to your successors or other club members. Eventually, you will become an individual who will fearlessly speak in front of people of what you do day in and day out. So that is the practice. If I may remind you in the beginning that I told you, that practice will give you the confidence to organize sessions on the competency of what you gained within your role and deliver a well-constructed training to your club members and to your area and the divisions. Why not for the district? So just a question mark you have to ask yourself. Do you like what you do? And do you learn from what you do? And are you ready to become a trainer? And another character that you find out, coach. Coaching is not just one day session. You come and do this, and go. Coaching is a constant, consecutively you attend your members' need. You make sure and you tell them, or you put them on the direct path. That is what coaching is. When you are well familiar with your role, even without you knowing, you will become a coach, because you would see someone doing something that it could have done in a better way. You eventually become a coach, and you would go to he or she and you make sure that they give their best in what they do. And the credit will always go to the member, and you will be very happy that you were part of them. And another character that I would want you to reveal is a mentor, a very important role in Toastmasters movement. Mentor is a person who would direct you to a solution or other problem that you are facing without giving you high hopes. When I say but he or she will motivate you and tell you in a constructively criticism way that how you can improve. Now, I'm sure that you've come across many individuals in your life who would tell you you've done this, you are great, and you are in the pinnacle of what you do. But in Toastmasters, we take mentoring very seriously. If I am a mentor from a mentee, I would expect her to deliver 200%. And I'll make sure he or she is getting that to place by listening if I put it in the straight word, the ugly truth. You need someone to tell you the wrong that you do to make it right. I had great mentors, my dear friends. I still have them, and that is, I'm proudly saying that is one of the reasons I've improved my knowledge, improved my communication skills, and improved my leadership skills. And I'm speaking to you today. One of the reasons is my mentors. So I mentioned 3 characters that you develop: trainer, coach, mentor. These 2 official roles, membership and public relations, plays a key role in identifying these hidden personalities within you. You move beyond the club always. You would be keen to learn many new things in Toastmasters, and you would be a person who will teach your club members, or you share your knowledge with your club members on a daily basis. So my dear friends, I hope that I was able to enlighten you on somewhat level of how Vice President membership and Vice President public relations will enable you to find yourself in three main important characteristics: trainer, coach, and a mentor. With that, I'd like to hand over my sessions back to Toastmaster Hassan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Inshaf, for inspiring our audience. And to the audience, if you are interested in enjoying the benefits of playing the roles of Vice President membership, Vice President public relations, and helping your club, you don't need to wait long at all, because in July of this year will be the time when the new executive committee comes up for all the clubs in Sri Lanka. And you always have the chance to apply and become part of your club's executive committee as well. So big round of thanks to distinguished Toastmaster Inshaf and Toastmaster Hashini for helping us with today's sessions. And I would like to invite you both back for our Q&A segment. And I would also like to take this opportunity to invite our Program Quality Director, Madam Distinguished Toastmaster Sriyanti, to join us as well for the question and answer session. So our first question for today, pathways related. So I would direct this at Toastmaster Hashini. The question is, how would I find the best suited pathway for me?
Right. How would I find the best suited path with me? Excellent question. So to somebody who had missed this while I explained, since I was rushing a bit, let me explain this one more time. Now, like I said, when you go to your profile, like once you log into Toastmasters, you will have the option of either picking the path of your preference after going through this particular document, which I was just going through. So this document has already been shared in the chat box. If a moderator could share it one more time, it would be much clearer. So you can go through this document, see what each path entails. You could see the 5 levels and what projects are in each of the different levels. And you could make a choice of which path you want to pursue. Or, like I said, there is an option where you can take the assessment to decide on what path you want to embark on. And from there, you can do the assessment, and that will also recommend a certain path to you. So either of it can be followed when you want to take up when you want to select a path.
Thank
I
you.
hope that's clear. Should I, you want me to show the assessment again? Because that would take some time since I had to go back to the home page. I hope it was clear. Was it clear, Mr. Moderator?
Yes, Toastmaster Hashini, I believe it was clear. Thank you so much for that answer. Our next question, I will direct for Distinguished Toastmaster Insha. The question has come from our fee registration form. The question is, can a club, Toastmaster club, maintain a separate Facebook page for itself?
The answer is yes. If you see this District 82 Facebook page, and you will be able to see different clubs already have a lot of Facebook pages, but very important item to remember, as I mentioned in the session, you have to follow the Toastmasters brand guidelines to its best. Any post, any flyers that share in those social medias, rather Facebook, it has to be meticulously gone through the 4Y checks to make sure we follow the correct brand guideline. So we display, or we rather communicate our Toastmasters brand professionalism to the society, or the rather public. Over to you, Pastor.
Thank you, DTM Insha. And there's another question I would like to direct at you, coming from a Q&A chat feature on Zoom. The question is, who will be my mentor and how do I select the mentor?
Very good question. So when it comes to mentoring, in a club, normally soon after you become a member, once vice president membership settle you well in the club, vice president education will assign you a mentor. Of course, you also can find a mentor for yourself. But why does vice president membership do it? The question, the reason being, it is advised to have a Toastmaster who have little more experience than you, or rather knowledge in Toastmasters than you. So he or she can direct you to the right way that you want to go. So this is all about what you learn in Toastmasters and the experience that you gain. So more a person or more a Toastmaster is equipped with longer experience, he or she will be able to give you some amazing and valuable ways of improving yourself. So the right person for you to reach out is vice president membership, vice president education of the club, and he or she will assign you a mentor.
Thank you, DTM Insha. And our next question goes to Toastmaster Hashini. The question is, what is the duration that I have to complete the pathway that I have selected?
Okay, again, to re-emphasize on what I mentioned earlier, there is absolutely no deadline for you to complete a path. So once you activate your path, you are given the freedom to take your own cool time and complete a path. There are no restrictions imposed. So the good thing about pathways is that there is no restriction in time, and the recognitions can be obtained irrespective of how fast you complete. So even now, for an example, if I'm to talk about my personal experience, I took almost a year and a half, or even more than that, to complete my very first path. But the most recent path that I completed, I think I completed it in less than a year. So it depends on how comfortable you are with the material and how fast of a learner you are. And so you would have the ability of balancing your work, your family life, all of that, and also taking your own full time in completing all the projects. There is no time restriction. However, if you're looking forward to qualify for an award like the Triple Crown, there are certain criteria that you need to meet. But apart from that, none of them are restrictions. you can always go at your own pace and complete the projects in time. I don't want to scare you with all the requirements for the report down and things like that, because those are just additional. Your achievements should be to complete each level and learn and equip yourself with whatever skills that and learnings that each level has in store for you. Over to you again, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hashini. And there's another question similar to that one, I would say. The question is, without completing one pathway, can I start work on the second pathway?
Of course you can. Good question. So I also had this doubt because when I completed my first path, I had already gotten the opportunity to select a second path. So in my mind, I was wondering, can I? So yes, you can. There is absolutely no problem. So even right now, I have completed up to level 5 in my dynamic leadership path, but I haven't done the level completion. So, however, I have still done the icebreaker in my strategic relationships path. There is no nothing stopping you. You can even do 10 paths together. Of course, if you can balance all of it, there is absolutely no restriction on that. However, I'll also make a note. Only one path will be free when you join a club. When you become a Toastmaster, the membership fee, one path will be given to you free of charge. The rest of the paths you will have to pay and get. It will not be free unless otherwise you were entitled for the offer that was on until the 31st of last month. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hashini. And we have a question that I would like to direct to DTM Insha on meeting roles. The question is as follows. As the grammarian, when we are evaluating the grammatical mistakes, is it okay to pinpoint members and tell it? Will they get offended? Or can we cluster by section and list down all the mistakes and share the improvement points?
It's a very good question, by the way. One of the main aspects of Toastmasters is to inspire members to become better. So in general meetings, what we do is we do not pinpoint each member in front of a lot of people and tell them you have to improve this and that. However, what we do is we generally, as a grammarian, we generally look at the session and we, for an example, mention someone said like this and it could have said in this way. So we keep the member or rather person who do the mistake in front of a crowd anonymous. And then maybe you can reach out to him or her personally and tell, this is how we need to improve. This is what makes you improve. That is one thing that we all have to understand. But how we deliver the criticism is also very important. Some people may like it, some people may don't like it. So to keep the neutral in the neutral in your evaluation or your report, it's better for you to mention. In general, I saw this type of grammatical errors, this type of good use of language that happen in the club, and these can be improved. So you give a comprehensive report for the time that you have in the club level meeting, and then maybe you reach out to the member personally and tell them this is where you have to improve. In my experience, a lot of grammarians came to me personally and told me the areas that I need to improve. So I'd say deliver a general report, maybe reach out to them personally. It would be a great. Over to you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you so much, DTM Insha, for sharing your wonderful insights with us. And our next question will go to Toastmaster Hashini. The question is as follows. How can I change the path that I have selected by mistake?
Oh, right. Okay. This is yet again another question that is frequently asked by those who are embarking on pathways for the first time. So sometimes we all get overexcited and select the wrong path. So then you have the ability of changing the path that you selected within 30 days of selecting the path. So you need to actually drop a mail to Toastmasters. That is, if I remember right, it's supply orders at toastmasters.org. So you just drop a mail to them and mention that you require a change in the path. And of course, yes, within the first 30 days, you can get it done. But if it passes the 30-day mark, I believe there is a small penalty that you will be incurred, or you will have to make payment and get a new path. So make sure that you do the change within the first 30 days of selecting the path. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster Hashini. There's another question that I would like to ask you. There's a request to go through and explain the 3 projects in level 1 once again, if you could be so kind, please.
Right, sure. So let me go back to my presentation again. Right. So if we go to level 1, these are I hope you can see my screen. So in level 1, these are the 3 projects that you are required to complete. The first of the projects would be the icebreaker. That would be just a 4 to 6 minute speech. So very simple, just one speech. But if you go to the project 2, the project 2 is a little more complicated, where you have 3 activities or 3 sub-projects that you need to complete. That is, first you need to prepare and deliver a speech, a 5 to 7 minute speech. Then you need to get feedback from your evaluator, apply the feedback. Maybe it can be something like use more vocal variety. So apply that feedback and deliver the speech again. It can be the same speech, it can be a new speech, but apply the feedback that you receive and do a second speech. And finally, you get the opportunity of evaluating one of your fellow members. So here, again, evaluating, it's nothing serious. You can get the help of your mentors. They'll guide you on basically evaluating is at the end of the day, knowing the best and, in your perspective, giving your opinion about somebody else's speech. So that opportunity will also be given to you when you complete your level 2 projects. So there are 3 sub-projects there. And then the final 3rd project would be to prepare and deliver a speech on a topic that you are either familiar or not familiar. But even if you're familiar, you will have to do some extensive research there. So it's better to pick a topic that you're not too familiar with, so that you are interested to do some research and finally deliver a 5 to 7 minute speech. So it's quite simple. You don't have to keep this in mind. There is nothing to memorize. Like I said, once you go to your base camp, activate your path, right, and start embarking on it, all the directions to complete your level 1 is already there. So there's nothing to fret, there's nothing to freak out. All of the information is available. So don't worry, select your path, start embarking on your journey, and there'll be so many senior members. There'll be us, there'll be your own mentors who will guide you on the same. Over to you again, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hashmi. So in the interest of time, I think this might be our last question. So I'll try to combine a few questions here for you, Toastmaster Hashmi. The question is, can we get an explanation of what is the Triple Crown, and how, if there is a deadline to achieve the Triple Crown?
Right. So again, in terms of the Triple Crown, now this, like I said, is nothing for you to really worry too much about. Of course, you can get a lot of extra information about this as well as you progress. So the Triple Crown is when you complete 3 of your projects. It can be level 1, level 2, and level 3. It can be level 2, 3, and 4, or 3, 4, and 5. It doesn't matter. You need to complete these projects within a Toastmasters year. So that is what will qualify you to get the Triple Crown. Now, I wouldn't advise you to rush for it, especially when you're a new member. But when you start maybe doing your second part, this is something maybe you can work on. So don't run behind the Triple Crown. Complete your projects. If you manage to complete within a Toastmasters year, good for you. Again, like DTM Inshaf said, best is reach out to an expert. And in this regard, your expert would be your Vice President Education. and of course, any other EXCO member or senior member who can help you all. Because you're trying to decide on certain things that you might not know, might end up with you being all confused and being all over the place. So again, Triple Crown is when you complete 3 projects within the same Toastmasters year. But don't fret, go at your own pace and see how best you can achieve your goals, achieve these recognitions while learning and improving yourself. Over to you, Toastmaster Castle.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hashini. We have maybe time for another small question coming in from our Q&A section. That is, after completing the level 5, there is an additional project called Reflect on Your Path. The question is, should we complete that also to submit the path completion for the DCP dashboard?
Of course, yes. So that is required because until the point where you, let's say before you complete that last project, you will only get the level completion, the level 5 completion. But to say that you're proficient in the path that you embarked on, you need to do that final project. Now, for an example, I am still not in the position to say that I am proficient in dynamic leadership because I haven't completed that path as yet, because that project is a pretty special project where you are really required to apply the skills that you've learned in a very high level, right? So it can be maybe, I don't know, for my previous path, I took on the assignment of organizing the installation ceremony of our club. So like that, depending on what your project requires you to do, you will have to do a bit of a high level project and show your skills, all the skills that you've learned while embarking on your path, and completing that in order for you to qualify as proficient in your respective path. Over to you.
All right. Thank you so much to our dear panelists for joining with us today for those questions. I think we still have 1 or 2 questions in the chat box, so I would kindly request if we could answer those on the chat, since I doubt that we have time to take it up live. But I would request our audience not to leave just yet, because we would really love to hear your feedback from us. And we also would like to hear a few words from our Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Sriyanthi Salgado. Madam, if you would be so kind.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Well, I'm glad to see so many participants around. Pathways is a journey that we take in a slow and sure manner. Don't be afraid to take it up. Enroll yourself. That is the first thing. Just in case you all have not enrolled yourself, enroll yourself. There are many of us who can help you, guide you on how to do it. It's not at all difficult. Take it slowly at the beginning. Do project by project, because if you do it slowly, you can concentrate on quality, and that is a must. And once you're sure of yourself, then you can speed up and be comfortable to continue improving yourself. Please join us every first Friday. We will have something for you, which I know will definitely be useful, whether it's pathway or a role that is going to be explained to you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Madam, for your words of wisdom. And with that, we would like to hear your feedback. So you can scan the QR code, or you can visit this URL to share your feedback. So I will leave this on my screen for the next 1 to 2 minutes, and I would like to request everybody to kindly visit the link and share your feedback with us. It's a very small form. And with that, let me take the opportunity to thank our panelists, Distinguished Toastmaster Inshaf Mohammed and Toastmaster Hashini Silva, and also thank the PQD team and the audience for bearing with me as your host for today. And the next session will be conducted on the 7th of May, the first Friday of the month, as Madam Sriyanti said. And with that, I wish you all a pleasant evening and hope that you all enjoyed the session. Thank you all for joining, and see you all soon.